Welcome to the modules for Instructional Strategies, brought to you by the Georgia Department of Education. In this module, we will look how students can demonstrate mastery of the Georgia Standard of Excellence Standard Social Studies World Geography 3, Element B, through the use of a sample lesson idea with resources. The standards for this activity include Social Studies World Geography 3, which reads, evaluate how cooperation and conflict among people influence the division and control of the Earth's surface. And Element B, which reads, explain how geography, parentheses, size, shape, and relative location, end parentheses, can be an advantage or disadvantage to participation in global exchange. The sample activity demonstrated will not only satisfy the standard to be covered, but also allow students to demonstrate understanding of connecting themes and enduring understandings that cross multiple units throughout all social studies courses. The enduring understandings this module covers include production, distribution, and consumption, which reads, the student will understand that the production, distribution, and consumption of goods, services produced by the society are affected by the location, customs, beliefs, and laws of the society. Also, location, which reads, the student will understand that location affects a society's economy, culture, and development. The activity presented in this module will have the students identify and classify countries based on their shape and geographic location. Additionally, they will research and identify the countries in each geographic region with the highest gross domestic product. Lastly, they will draw conclusions from their findings and report this information to the class or to the teacher. A quick side note, teachers may want to preview what globalization is and inform the students that in today's market economies, trade with other countries is extremely important and lucrative. The depth of which to cover this material will depend on the background knowledge of the students. Step 1. So to begin, first, have the students identify different types of shapes, also known as morphology, that countries display. The teacher may choose to present this information or have the students gather the information themselves. This information is typically found in most AP Human Geography textbooks, as well as other geography textbooks. The different shapes, or morphologies, are grouped or categorized in 5 distinct forms: compact, fragmented, elongated, perforated, and protruded. So to begin, in order to explain the first shape, which is compact, a compact state with a circular shape is the easiest to manage. Belgium is an excellent example because of the cultural divisions between the Flanders and Wallonia within Belgium. The compact form of Belgium has helped to keep the country together. Compact states are also easier to defend than states of other shapes. A fragmented state. Nations such as Indonesia, which is composed of more than 13,000 islands, are known as fragmented or archipelagic states because they are composed of archipelagos. It is difficult to govern such a country composed of islands and more than 200 million people. Elongated. An elongated or attenuated nation, such as Chile, makes for difficult governance of peripheral areas in the north and south from the central capital region near Santiago. Vietnam is also an elongated state. Perforated. South Africa is the classic example of a perforated state, which completely surrounds Lesotho. The surrounded nation can only be reached by going through one country. If there is hostility between the two nations, access to the surrounded nation can be difficult. Protruded. A protruded or panhandle country, such as Myanmar, formerly known as Burma, or Thailand, have an extended arm of their territory. Like an elongated state, the panhandle complicates that shape of the territory. Once the students understand the different categories, have them use a world map to identify countries whose geography matches one or more of the categories. The teacher may ask the students to classify countries based on their shape. A sample classification chart might look something like this, where you list the different types or shapes or morphologies of the different countries on the left column and the regions over the top. Here you see Latin America, North America, Northern Africa, Sub-Saharan Africa, South Africa, Eastern Europe, Western Europe, and Asia. The third step in this activity is to identify the geographic location of the countries on the list that students have created. To accomplish this, the students will need to have a blank or outline map of the world. If you are unable to have a text resource or blank outline maps, a great place to go is at www.eduplace.com. And once you're at the website, if you look down towards the bottom right, you will see outline maps. On the world map, have students select a color to represent each of the 5 categories and color in those countries identified on the map. The next step of the activity is to identify countries in each region with the highest GDP. A good source to use is by going to the World Bank website located at www.worldbank.org. Once there, look at the banner across the top and select the Data tab. And in the search box located in the middle, type GDP. You will see it autofills and click on GDP current US figures. Scroll down a bit and you will see a section titled Overview per Country. Using this list and information, have students identify the top 3 countries in regards to their GDPs for each of the geographic regions stated earlier in the activity. Step 5. For the final step in this activity, have students analyze their information to show mastery of the standard, in that the student should explain how geography, the size, shape, and relative location, can be an advantage or disadvantage to participating in global exchange. Based on the student's ability or need, the teacher can choose to have the student submit this analysis in a form of an essay, presentation, or any other method deemed appropriate for the student. This concludes Module 6.